Hey, to all my aftermarket peeps in North America, it's Carm Capriato. It's Aftermarket Weekly, week 114. As you know, we talk some business with our guest host and see inside their shop, as we call it, the virtual shop tour every week. I'm with Dale Wormuth from Leon's Auto Care Center in Eureka, California. Hey, Dale.
Hi there.
Good
How
to
things
have you.
shaking?
I'm sorry?
How things shaking out there?
Well, out here in the great Buffalo, it's always a beautiful summer day. We get one or two a year. It's great. No, things are great. Business is good. How about you?
Let's say we're holding up. Things are soft. California's got some crazy gas prices. We're seeing inflation. So we've got a few challenges, but we're holding our numbers pretty steady. I mean, I'd like to have some cushion there, but we're working it. We're working it.
Well, so glad to have you here. We're going to show a picture of this beautiful shop we're going to look at. I don't know, Dale, it's just gorgeous. I love what this shop looks like. Can't wait to get inside. If you're with us on social media, please check in, give us a high five. We're a little late getting out to, it looks like we do have some people, so maybe we didn't get kicked off the great social networks. So glad to have you all here. We're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix studio. Always great to have Dorman as one of our great partners here. Hey, we all know that fixing cars is different than how the OE builds them. Now, take fuel lines, for instance. Fuel lines run and rust along with the chassis of the vehicle by nature. Now, especially in the colder months, trucks can be exposed to snow, salt, or rain, causing failure due to the corroded fittings, deterioration in the line. Now, to help you in your wallet, Dorman Products' team of engineers have redesigned the typical fuel line. Introducing Dorman's flexible stainless steel braided fuel lines. Made from braided stainless steel over flexible PTFE tubing, this upgraded material features a corrosion-resistant design. Each fuel line is an exact fit with the dimensions of each application. Now, improved durability is the highlight of this new design. This innovation is a Dorman OE fix, which means it's something that the original manufacturer doesn't offer. These fuel lines are quality assured and backed by their team of product experts and more than a century of automotive experience. Hey, want to learn more about Dorman's innovations? Visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Thank you so much, Dorman. Hey, Dale, you remember we did this episode with Rachel Spencer. Is your bathroom like the Ritz-Carlton?
Right.
Thank you so much for doing that. I mean,
and a word there for Dorman. They do us a great job. I'm always astounded at their innovative thoughts, and we love the product.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to be there, Tracy and I, in September. We're going to do some field tripping stuff. We're going to go behind the scenes on some stuff, record some episodes. So we just can't wait. Sometime in September, you'll all benefit from our trip down there. But yeah, thank you for doing that. Who would have expected that a beautiful bathroom would be in a beautiful place like this? Hey, Mike Dela Cruz, good to have you here. Well, this Friday, Town Hall Academy coming up is Identify Your Ideal Customer with Joe Marconi, Marty Long, and Brian Lagas. Well, let's talk about stuff, Dale. What's going on with you? You are expanding your services?
No, but I wanted to speak to the enormity and the details of our shop. And I think you guys got a short edited video of our building, and it was my father started the business in 1961. And he's always had a focus on the prize of ultimately building. I mean, we were at a juncture where we had far outgrown our previous building, and we needed to either exhaust was starting to wane. This was probably 1990. Catalytic converters were having its effect, stainless steel exhaust. We needed to figure out how to get either bigger or smaller. My father had the trust in my sister and I, and probably, I wouldn't say doubled down, more like quadrupled down. He had, in having his eye on the prize, he had acquired property. We spent a year or two. Father was a part of an exhaust association. We did a lot of traveling around the nation, looking at other shops, and brought back the great ideas and left behind a few problems. And as we spoke the other day, one of the first conversations with the architect was, as my father exclaimed, was I want to start and talk about the ladies' restroom. That was the focus, the first step in planning for the new shop, because he wanted to make a statement uh, that we cared, that there was, it wasn't going to be your run of the mill uh, 20 5-year-old Field and Stream magazine strung about, but there was going to be a lot of detail
Sure.
to the process of and it represents who we are. It's raised the stakes far higher for those that were considered getting in the business. It raises people's expectations of what they ought to see if they go somewhere else and the floor's all greasy or the front door's all fingerprinted. Why they think I have a higher ideal than that.
Sure.
Hopefully, and generally, we see those customers back again and again.
I think it's brilliant to think back to your dad 61 years ago when he started this, and then the re-engineering of the building. He was such a forward thinker and innovative when it came to, it looks like, the design. Did you have much input with him on that?
It was a collaborative. I mean, and I
Okay.
would say we, the architect, shame on the architect. He kind of let us dream, and I can recall when the architect's estimate came in of what we were going to build, and it was like it far exceeded the stack of money that we had. You know, we in the beginning we were pretty clear. We have this much money, and when the architects got done, they let's see if I can get both of my hands in here.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah.
and so fortunately the prime contractor was able to massage things and keep um, some of those feels of the, everything the customer touches is tile finished. The floors are with tile. There's some, those impressions, we were able to leave those impressions in the finished product. And geez, we've been in here now for 35 years. I think when you see the video, you'll be struck by really, most people are really surprised to learn that the building, I think, has a vibe of probably maybe 10 years old.
Wow.
But from the landscaping to, and we're on Highway 101, one of the primary corridors of California,
Mm-hmm.
at a traffic light. And so the landscaping's important. The maintenance of the building externally is important. The windows being cleaned every month is important. I kind of harken back during the period we were planning the shop. There's a fella wrote a book. I believe his name was Carl Sewell. He had a number of Cadillac dealerships in the Texas area. He went so
Sure.
far as to have his own street sweeper because he wanted to be sure, even on the public streets near his place, that it was tight, that he was very caught up in what a customer for life was worth,
Wow.
and
Yeah. I,
maintained that focus.
I remember, in fact, I could have read that book possibly. Everyone wanted to imitate what he did. I mean, talk about cleaning the street in front of you to get that Cadillac-ish, if you will, feel from the minute you pulled on the street. Um, I, I, I I have to make a comment on what you said, that the architect allowed you to dream. And it sounded, I knew you were going to come in with a high budget, but what a great idea to be able to say, okay, we really want this, but how can we get that for, within our budget? And if not, maybe we need to borrow some more money. So thank you for all that. What's going on with the third generation of the family?
Thank you for asking. My sister has a son who we meet with weekly. It's more than that, actually. I mean, he's working as a technician right now, a journeyman technician, but we have weekly meetings. There's a component of I reference my job title as futurist or protector. I'm the rainmaker. I make certain that, one, obviously, that the tools and equipment and people are here. That there's traffic coming through the shop. The phones ring, but we're in California, so there's regulations that one needs to try to stay ahead of. There's making certain we're insured, making certain that what processes we maintain in the shop, maintain a safe environment, and having a relationship with a banker. Well, I mean, we've been pretty flush here the last several years. There's still some comfort in having a first name or an email that you can maintain that connection with your banker.
Yeah.
So teaching those things, teaching counseling with employees, and it's obviously it's a pretty tight hiring market, trying to keep employees, trying to stay ahead of whatever troubles them. That there's a lot of energy that goes into the position that he's probably will soon be pulling him back into the office, probably a shop foreman next. And then ultimately, I'd like to go to, I don't know, New Zealand and go dirt bike riding or something.
How cool is that? And you need somebody to be there.
Yeah, we're going to need somebody to be here.
I love it because a trip to New Zealand is not a week event. You got to go for a month, right?
Usually at least a week. You wish more. New Zealand is very much like where we live here in Humboldt County. They grow redwood trees faster than we can, I think.
Jeez.
And if the British hadn't gotten there first and started driving on the wrong side of the road, it'd be a perfect little vacation spot.
That is really funny. I love it. Hey, there's so much more to talk about, but I really want to get a chance to get inside of your place. A lot of great stuff has been happening on the podcast. Are some of the latest listens that we have. Of course, you all know the Aftermarket Radio Network is part of what we do. Today came out a great episode on ADAS L4, the new ASE certification. You're going to love that. The extreme value of a SWAT for your business. Matt Fonslow did economics, and Hunt Demarest handling big purchases. Hopefully, you're all getting your automotive aftermarket business acumen on by listening to all these great shows. So let's go inside of this fabulous place, and I'm going to get ready to click on the video here right now. Here we go.
So I tried to provide a little plug there for our Napa Car Care Center. We are a Napa Gold Center. We're AAA approved. We've been top shops, I don't know, 3-4 years in a row. The muffler sign there out front is kind of a tribute to where we came from in the muffler business. We recently, while the building was built 30 years ago, you saw some ADA parking and a walkway there that we're constantly trying to improve and stay on top of all the.
I love
in California, you can have drive-by lawsuits about ADA stuff. So we're always trying to, again, protecting, trying to stay ahead of.
Sure.
I'm going to knock on wood. We've never been in court. I've never been in labor court. We've not yet had troubles with the customers, as it were.
Hey, I stopped at the video on this incredible poster of your team.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful thing to put in, if you will, your customer lobby. But are you the person who would generate this concept or idea, or do you have somebody who's a marketing person?
We have an ad agency, but I press for. We renew this probably every 6 months or so because there's a few of the newer faces that come and go. We have an oil center, oil change center that, it's inherent that it's a low pay position, and it's just a revolving door of employment.
I understand.
There's often a few changes occurring on the
I understand. Here it looks like your waiting room, your counter.
Yep.
Very nice.
Easy for the customers to see out in the shop and see what's occurring to their car. We're going to actually see a little bit later a backside of the shop. There's almost a mirror image of this building on the backside. Lots of nice finish.
You're right about the timing of as far as this doesn't look that old because the tile isn't dated.
No, it's still working. There's quite a tribute wall to being a AAA. Oh, there's some bottles of. We may flash back on that. There's a bunch of bottles of various fluids that maintain our cars or keep our cars rolling.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
and customers are always fascinated to see how it all turns black, huh? So you can make a case for, yeah, you need to do that maintenance.
Very, very nice display.
Oh, and in a ridiculous California fashion, there's a material safety data sheet attached to every one of the damn things. Um, I think I'm mixing up what the one chemical that looks good really isn't very good. That the deck's cool. Um, so again, a lot of we try to maintain this openness and promote in our various commercial showing and telling with the customer firsthand. We use Kukui, so we're using doing photos and tablets and texting that to customers. Um, Kind of reminding customers about the technicalities of their car.
I see this. Very nice posters.
It's really not as simple as going to uh, AutoZone and having the code pulled. That's not by itself going to fix what you're doing. Cookies. My wife bakes upwards. This goes back a long ways, but currently we're baking about 30, probably 30 dozen cookies a week for our customers and employees. There's our tribute wall for our AAA approved center.
Nice. I love the openness, all the glass.
Yep. Shop floors maintain. I mean, I obviously, and I think I said this before about the restrooms. Somebody has to care. Um, and I press for the one for organization. There's 16 people here, and you know you got to put it back where you found it so that the next person can find it.
Sure.
Um, that kind of thought process is maintained constantly. We
How
use
many bay?
Rider as our point of sale
Okay.
system.
How many bays do you have, Dale?
16. 16 bays.
And with all 16 there that many years ago that you built the business?
No, originally the backside of the shop, we were going to lease it
Okay.
and to help pay for make the payment on the house, as it were.
Okay.
And when it finally push came to shove and somebody wanted to use it, we had enough junk stored back there. We said, "Whoa, maybe we better." And of course, we've evolved. We punched some holes in the wall, and we'll see in a moment. There's quite an activity occurring on the backside of the shop.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest parts rooms I ever saw of late. You guys seem to have a
Well, we
big
came from the
inventory.
exhaust business where if you didn't have it, this was before Amazon and eBay and
All
overnight
right.
service,
Okay.
overnight delivery. That we're very accustomed to stocking our own product as best we can. I mean, we have a great connection with our local Napa dealer, um, but if I can buy it right, that's my nephew there, Lucas, the heir apparent.
Yeah.
Uh, and this is another angle from that same backside of the shop. A lot of parking. This building takes up about a half a block. It does take up half a block, and we own the rest of it as well. So we're able to use up all the available parking because 16 hoists. There usually means there's lots of cars that have been left here overnight
Mm-hmm.
or for the week, or you're waiting for parts.
Very organized. Oh my God, a brake lathe. You're still not using that, are you? Stop. It looks like an Amco, but I've never. Oh, there's the
It is
right
one
color.
Amco. Yeah, yeah.
There's the right color.
RV hoist. We have two big RV. I think one's like a 34,000 pound. Big recollection. In the that's my toy there, my 59 El Camino.
Oh my God.
Has a 572 cubic inch motor in it. Sets car alarms off when you drive down the street.
I bet you.
It's something very to see the video. I have to pause and share where everybody's pride about what we're doing here.
Well, this was a great tour, albeit as short as it is. I'm sure
Yeah.
there was so much more to see, but a beautiful, beautiful operation and a busy one. Wow, 16
But it didn't
bays.
happen overnight. I think there's a lot of guys that maybe work at a shop and think they're going to open their own shop, and yeah, there has to be some planning and focus, and um, maybe an image of what that thing is you're dreaming it'll be.
Yeah, yeah,
I think about the same process for adding services. We've always sublet alignment. I couldn't justify buying new alignment equipment. We don't sell tires, so that to me made the alignment thing a little bit tougher to justify. But when Sears went out of business here locally, we managed to get a Hawkeye. Uh, pardon me, I'm going to Hunter machine,
sure.
and bought it right. And so we're able to control the timing of the completed job and when things get done. But I didn't just run out and do it. It was, again, it's something that needed to be planned and looking for the deal. The last 10 years, probably more than that, since 2008, the closures of so many dealerships, we did go to a few of those auctions and did acquire some of those pieces of equipment and had the resources to do those things.
Yeah.
And I would say the planning and patience and having the resources, money to go do those things.
Well, I have to tell you something. One of the things you said a little earlier that you are a rainmaker.
Yeah.
It makes all kinds of sense to what you just said, that this doesn't happen overnight. There's an evolution of success. You always have to have your eye on the prize, the visionary of the business, and this is what you have now.
Well, and I'm blessed that we're big enough that I can sit quietly back here in this office right now and have these conversations. That for somebody that's working in their business, that's tough. I do have an unfair advantage in being able to work on the business, try to see those trends, try to, I over the years I've often acquired the prospectus, say, of Midas or other trade organizations to kind of see what do they see in their kaleidoscope of future, and because they probably can see it from higher up than I can.
Yeah.
Again, trying to steal those ideas, trying to do some planning. Um, that I'm blessed that I'm able to maintain that kind of position to work on the business.
Excellent. Great stuff. Are you going to Napa Expo?
Absolutely.
Well, please stop by and say hi. I'll meet you in person for the first time. Tracy and I will both be there. Look for our studio in the thick of it. We're going to be down there. We're going to be moderating some panels, so I'm really looking forward to it. This podcast, this episode will come out as a podcast this coming Saturday on your favorite listening app. You can always watch this immediately when we hang up here on YouTube. Next week, we're going to be with Shari and Jeff Pheasant at A Master Mechanic in Sparks, Nevada. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Dale Wormuth, Leon's Car Care, Eureka, California. Man, thank you so much for this tour. Inspiring. And I wish you continued success. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thanks.